Hey, so what we're going to be doing with this project is we're not only going to be coding it, we're going to be designing it a little bit as well. So in this case, we have a template that you're going to click remix, the remix button. And once you're inside, you're going to see this bit of code and one sprite. First, we're going to do is code the costumes. And so then when we duplicate it, we're really not having to do double the work, okay? So you're going to start here with this one sprite. You're going to go to costume, and you're going to duplicate this one. So you're going to duplicate, right? And because it is a vector graphic, okay, you don't have to erase or anything. You can just actually work with these objects, right? So I'm going to copy and paste. Whoops, that didn't work. Did it land somewhere? Okay, double check. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, there's actually a copy button here. Let's do that. Okay, and paste. All right, so my copy paste didn't work, so I just used the buttons. All right, so actually this one is 3, and we know a 3 die looks like this, right? So we're going to do 3. Then we're going to duplicate that one. And we're going to make this one into 4. So you got to push this one over here. You got to push this one over here. And I'm sorry, copy, paste. And I'm going to put the 4th one here. All right. Now we can recolor this however you want. You know, but if you recolor from the beginning. That way you're not having to do it later. Let's see. And then this one's 5. So we're going to add a copy, paste. Get another one in there. We're almost there. We need one more. So you're going to duplicate that. And make it a 6er. So what does 6 look like? Sort of like copy paste, sort of like that, right? Did I do that right? Yes. So that's a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See there? Okay. Now that we have 6 of them, we're going to use this code to spin this die. This one. We're going to make another batch in a second, but let's code this one first. We're using variables, and I have one called die1. Okay, in the variables drawer, and I already created it for you. So I created it, and I said, well, let's set it to a random number from 1 to 6. Okay, if it's 1, switch to costume 1. So let's I don't know. I'm just gonna so we gotta change. Okay, finally went to 1 because it took a while. Here's the readout. This is the readout of it. So you notice that's a 4. Okay, it has to be. Okay, I only have it for 1 now. So what I need to do is add this in here and change it to costume 2. I love duplicating, so I'm going to call this one 3 and switch to die. Oops, my naming convention kind of screwed up here. If you notice, it says 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. In other words, in my costumes, I spelled out 1, 2, but then it did 2, 2, 2. So I gotta fix that. Well, I could either just put a number there, or I'll put 3, just so it's clear. And I'll call this one 4. Good thing I caught that. Okay, 5. Whoops. And 6. All right, because now when I go back to my code and I go to code this, I'm going to go 3. Okay, duplicate. And this one's going to be 4, and so on. All right, so I'm not going to finish this just yet. I'm going to let you do it. Now, to make the second die, well, let's duplicate this whole batch. But the problem there is we won't be able to ever add them together. So what we need to do is make one more variable. We'll call this one die2. So die2, we're going to change this all to die2 so it has its own independent living. Let's get those out of there. Plug it in with die2. This is important because when you roll the dice, we want to be able to add the 2 together and display a total. So to make a total, we're going to make a variable, call it total. So now we have a new total thingy. I'm going to operate on the first die because just for organization, I like to do everything on the main front first die. We're going to go set total to 0 at the very beginning, Set it to 0 at the beginning, and let's make this one a spacebar, because spacebar is fun. Whoops, not this one, sorry. Spacebar, here we go. Spacebar, alright. And then on this one here, we'll also make it spacebar. There we go. So now when I clear it, nothing happens, but when I hit spacebar, that's when it does the die. But we need to then say, okay, what's the total going to be? Well, let's do we're going to use operators, and we're going to do math. What are we going to add together? We're going to add die 1 plus die 2. And we're going to set the total to that. Set the total to this math whenever the space bar is pressed. Here we go. 6, 3, 4, 10. What did I do wrong? Okay, I think I found the problem. The length of time that it takes to move from one thing to the other, I think, is a factor here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put this under its own space bar. I bet you that's what it is. Here we go. Nope. So, in trying to figure this out or debug this situation, it seems like because I put that set right up against the space here, it was happening before or after the set random had time to take place. So I put a delay on the totaling, and I solved the problem. So this works with a 1 second delay, but I can even shorten that up with a 0.08 second delay, and let's see if that works. Yep. There you go. So you need to have a slight delay on the totaling. One last thing we like to do is when we click on the flag, it doesn't really look that appealing, right? So that when we click on the spacebar, it's not really that appealing, right? It just shows the numbers. Let's make it so that it's animated, okay? That's what I like to do. So I'm going to use a wait and a repeat. 0.08 is my favorite for animation. And what I want to do is put this whole stick in here, I believe. And let's test it. There we got an animation. Kind of neat, right? But remember what I said before, the total needs to happen a little later than the rest of it. So we have to go back to the first one here and add, 1 second to this instead. Let's run it. That's 9, 6, okay. So yeah, this needs to be 1 second when we add this animation. So we're going to add animation to this other one because I haven't done it yet. So I'm going to go 0.08 and repeat 10. I think 10 is sufficient. And yeah, let's get it right on there. Actually, got to get this in here too. And fire away. We got rolling dice.